Okay, what's going on, guys? Today I was going to make a really quick, simple video. It's the second time I recorded it, 'cause the first time it didn't really go as planned. So I feel like since it's getting close to Christmas and there's a lot of y'all maybe, I don't know, playing Modern Warfare 3, Warzone, Black Ops 6, Fortnite. This goes for all of you guys, especially the ones that are coming from consoles or just trying to build a PC, getting into competitive gaming. Don't mind my horrible, scratchy voice. Yeah, I could never be an announcer or a public speaker. But anyways, I have a notepad here with a quick list, total here for the total price, and basically the specs of the PC. Real quick, I just want to mention that my setup is a 1080p 240 hertz setup. I may have spent $200 on my setup, not counting my keyboard, mouse, and monitor, but even in total it's probably $450. And I have no issues running Fortnite at 240 FPS. I have no issues running any games that I've ever thrown at this PC. So real quick, I'm gonna basically make a guide of how I built my computer. Granted, I got the tower for free because it was a hand-me-down, but still it's dirt cheap. So first off, I'm gonna start with a GTX 1080. Now, why a GTX? Why am I doing NVIDIA? Why not a AMD card? Well, because I grew up in the era, or when I was first getting into building PCs, everything was Intel and NVIDIA. So that's just kind of all I know to this day. I've never really looked much into the Ryzens and the RX cards. But what I did for my PC is, instead of a 1080 Ti, I just got a regular 1080 because, keep in mind, this is a budget build. We're not really doing any overclocking. Granted, I don't need it. And especially with what you'll see later, you don't want a Ti. So I paid, I believe, $120 for my card, but since these are 7, 8, however old they are, year-old cards, they're cheap. So I don't remember which model my card was, but I mean, you see, you can get it 120 or 130. Just make sure whenever you get on here that you do not get a mining card. Mining cards are cards that have been used just for crypto mining, and I'm pretty sure they don't function for gaming. But I mean, like, if we look right here, here's a single blower. Well, shit, shipping. But yeah, I mean, still cheap, and they work. It's a single blower. It's gonna be a little loud, but we're not worried about that. It's the budget. My card is never loud. I can never hear it over my headphones. I believe this is the model that I have, but I did not pay $150 for it. But yeah, here we go. Here's a triple fan model. And yeah, see, I mean, $130 total, I believe. And if you can find a better card, get that. But I just went with a 1080 because that's what I was comfortable with, and that's what I got. So I'm gonna put this is gonna run us 130. So there's that. So now the tower. Oh, whoop, that's RAM. So for your tower, I recommend getting some kind of older office computer that has a full-size case, so it's not a small form factor like one of these or this. This won't work because it won't fit the GPU. So just look around, just type in just type in literally old i7 office PC. Or if you get one, you could get one with a newer i5, but this one right here has an i7 8700. That is exactly what I have in my computer, and I've had no issues with it. It's a 6-core, I think it's like a 3.2 gigahertz, which is perfect for what this build is. $150. Yeah, so it's full size, makes it easier to upgrade stuff inside of it. You can see this one has USB 3.0, which it's not very important, but yeah, it's got 3.0. It's not pretty, you know, no RGB, but like I said, we're on a budget. So we're gonna add 150 to this. And another important note is that this has a 1 terabyte NVMe, which is an SSD. You want to make sure that your tower has a pretty beefy processor, like an i7-8700. I would recommend at least like a 7th generation i7 or higher, and an SSD. It can be a 200 gig SSD, because an SSD you can always upgrade later, and they're cheap. It has Windows 11 Pro built in, Wi-Fi built in. So yeah, for $150, this is a pretty freaking good deal. 12 gigs of RAM. You know, just go get a RAM stick. See whenever the PC comes in, see if it's DDR3, which is fine. See if it's DDR4. If it's DDR4, buy a DDR4 stick. Make sure it matches the other size of the other one. Actually, I believe you have to have 2 of the same. But yeah. Then you are going to need a power supply, because the GTX, that's kind of the price you pay for an older card. Yeah, you're getting a really strong card for cheap, even in today's standards, but it's going to consume a lot of power. That's the caveat here. So I just recommend going with about a 600 watt. You can get on here on eBay, like, look, $35. $35 for a 600 watt, which is gonna work perfect for what we need. So let's say I'm gonna also just add 30 for RAM, and then let's say 35 for your power supply. So now that's it. You know, you attach or hook up your power supply, take out your old one, put in your new one, put in your graphics card right here, get on the PC, download your drivers, and that's literally it. So now let's look at what I recommend for the peripherals. Okay, so on a monitor, if you want to, if you're going to be a competitive gamer, I recommend you trying to get a 240 hertz. There's not much of a difference between 144 and 240, but it's big enough when it comes to competitive games that I think it's worth to go ahead and invest in it. Years ago, you know, the brand that you got was very important, but to me now, especially when it comes to a budget build, it does not matter. I think as long as you look at the description and the reviews, that's all that matters. This one doesn't have any reviews, so kind of sketched by that one. But like this, well, that's a little expensive, but you know, I have a Scepter, and it's been a phenomenal monitor. As a matter of fact, I believe I have this exact model. The only thing is it doesn't have an adjustable stand, so I kind of have it sitting on some books. But it's very responsive. 1 millisecond screen, 240 hertz, 1 millisecond. Yeah, it's a great curved monitor. $150 or $160. It's worth every penny, in my opinion. So we're gonna add 160. And now for the keyboard and mouse, see, same thing guys, for the keyboard and mouse. I think as long as you get a mechanical keyboard, that's all that matters, and I was able to find this one. I've had a lot of cheap keyboards. I've had a $150 Razer Chroma, Black Widow Chroma, and I can tell you right now, I've had much better experiences with some $20 keyboards. I had a $20 Blue Switch keyboard, and that thing, I loved it. I just couldn't stand the clicking after a while. But here is a Blue Switch keyboard. It's a TKL. I recommend a TKL over a 60%, just because you know, you will find yourself, if you don't literally game and that is it, you will find yourself kind of needing these other keys. So $20, and you know, you can look and find more. Just make sure they are mechanical. That's going to be the biggest game changer, because if it's not a mechanical keyboard, it's going to be a membrane, and they're not the best for gaming. So let's say $20. And now for your mouse, Same thing for the mouse. I think as long as you have a good reviewed mouse, it doesn't matter. I'd stay away from like these, or you know, wireless mice. I guess you'd say mice. I've always used Logitech's cheaper mice and Razer's cheaper mice. This, in all honesty, is the one I recommend. The G305. That's exactly what I have, except I have the wired version. I love it. Very responsive. It's a comfortable mouse. It's got some good RGB. But yeah, you know, you can go with any. The Razers are solid mice. They feel kind of cheaper to me. And so is ONN. You know, ONN is a good cheap Walmart brand, and their products are solid. Their monitors, their keyboards, their mice, all of them. They're honestly a great budget brand for anyone just starting off in this. So yeah, I guess I'm going to say $20 for the mouse. So in total, I think for what you're getting, this is definitely worth it. And if this video catches traction, I will do a lot of research and figure out, I mean, I already know a good bit about this stuff, but I will do some more research and try to find some more even cheaper, or you know, maybe better to fit your budget needs. But I'll find some more specs and parts to throw together for a build. But yeah, overall $545. And if you already have a monitor, a keyboard, and a mouse, then we can subtract 180, and the actual PC build is $365. $365 for a mid-range PC. I think that's pretty solid, guys. But anyways, I'm gonna cut the video here because it's gonna be a little long. I've been yapping a lot. Anyways, if y'all like this video, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.